All right, I know it's been a few days since I've done a read aloud. I heard somebody told me today I have 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Woo! All right, so I figure for my last read aloud for the week, maybe I'll put a couple on next week. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We are going to read today Giant Meatball, another story that I've never read before, so we'll see where this goes. All right, here we go. Giant Meatball. On the outskirts of a snoozy little town, not so very long ago, there lived a giant meatball. Actually, spaghetti and meatball is one of my favorite meals. For years and years, the giant meatball bumbled and bounced his way along the old riverbeds in total bliss. Really? A giant meatball. Okay, all right. I'm going with you. Though he could not say from whence he came, the meatball was as proud and round as a planet. Roundy, boundy, moundy me. He would sing as he churned through the pastures and fields. Can you see that? The townsfolk did not think the giant meatball quite so grand. He terrifies the cabbages and disquiets the cows, mooed the farmer. He sullies our jellies and jeopardizes our jams, boiled the marmalade maker. All that romping and ranting is much too much, stewed the librarian. Maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, said the mayor. So let's just ask him to be a dash more considerate, and everything will be peachy. All right. When the farmer next saw the meatball, he sheepishly asked, maybe you could wait until after my beauties are done grazing. But the giant meatball was too woozy with whirling and whistling to listen. When the marmalade maker next saw the meatball crashing about the raspberries, he sweetly asked, maybe you could try not to crush so many. But the giant meatball was too giddy from trouncing to hear. Oh my gosh, can you see everything that he squished? Can you see everything on there? It's quite a bit. I definitely would not be happy if I was the marmalade maker. And when the librarian next saw the meatball yipping near the public library, she put a stern finger to her lips and shushed. But the giant meatball was too dizzy with the sound of his own music to care. I don't know if you can see the giant meatball. I think he's up here somewhere in the window, and there's a librarian trying to tell him to shush. I like everybody reading their books. Ever hopeful, the mayor commissioned the sign painter to make giant signs with tips on neighborly living. But the only thing the meatball managed to read was his name. They love me, he sighed. You see it says meatball, but then at the bottom it says buzz off. Maybe not the nicest thing, but this meatball is not very considerate of other people's feelings. Flattered as he was, the giant meatball decided to whisk through the center of town. He swerved and sloshed his way about, sending puddles and hats and poodles and cats flying in his wake. They can't get enough of me, the giant meatball giggled. The townspeople were beyond fed up. Oh my gosh, he is definitely, look at everything he's doing in there. He's leaving, there's crowns and people on the ground, and he's just making a mess. Not a very nice meatball. He is not following the social contract. Actually, I don't know if this town has a social contract. Maybe they should make one. Let's give that meddlesome meatball the boot, cried the cobbler. Baloney, barked the mayor. I will personally give the giant meatball a good talking to. The next morning, the mayor waited outside of town so she and the giant meatball could talk privately. Can you see? I think they're over here. The mayor and the meatball will be talking. But I'll tell you what draws my eyes. I don't know if can you see the pancakes? There's two stacks of delicious pancakes there. That's what Mr. Rivas is looking at. But I do see them talking. All right, let's see what the conversation has in store. She was still waving her arms to slow him down when he gaily flattened her like a pancake. Good gravy, the giant meatball bubbled. I must be the most scrumptious thing ever if the mayor is greeting me. That is a giant meatball. And indeed, he was. Is there a page missing here? All of us, look, I think this is the last page. So the mayor turned him into a, I'm guessing, dinner for everybody? Is that what I'm seeing correctly? It's menu du jour, which is meatball, and I think menu du jour is menu of the day, and it's everybody getting ready to dig in to the giant meatball. That must be the most scrumptious thing ever if the mayor is greeting me. Yeah, I think that's how the story ended. The story ended with the townsfolk eating the giant meatball. Wow. If that's not a message of why to be kind to others, I think this might be the story about the giant meatball by, where's the author? There's no author name on there. Oh, let's see. Words and Pictures by Robert Weinstock, right? Is that who it is? Weinstock? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this story because every time I read one of these, I enjoy it too because these are stories I didn't really read as a kid and this is my first time reading them. So, hey, it's Friday. I don't know when you'll watch this. If it's Friday, if it's Saturday morning, maybe it's next week because I will put this on my YouTube channel. Have an amazing vacation. If you put something interesting on Instagram and you hashtag it Sunny Slope Tigers, I would love to see it. And I don't know if you're on here now, I'm sure you saw my Friday dance by now. If any of you want to recreate that dance and hashtag it, maybe Lizzie wants to give it a try. Good luck to you. Have an amazing weekend, an amazing vacation, and I hope to see you sooner rather than later. All right, remember, be amazing.